1 year ago in Abu Dhabi, Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks had a match for the Raw Women's Championship. It was the first championship match for women in the country. Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss made history that night. A chant broke out saying, "This is hope." And 1 year later, I'm sitting down now, and I think this time of year is always a time for reflection, but in wrestling it's different. It's usually a time for looking at your favourite matches, your favourite moments, your favourite rivalries, your favourite people of the year. But for some reason today, I was scrolling through Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and I kept seeing Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss's championship match from last year pop up. And it's just made me think of what 2018 has been for women. Not just in wrestling, but in the world. And I would always consider myself that I am very much a person who wants equality, who wants everyone to be equal in this world. And I don't mean to get so serious and so not, I don't mean to be this kind of, I guess the word would be serious, but this is hope that, you look at the year that the women have had, just in wrestling, and there was an all-women's pay-per-view about a month and a bit ago. And you think 10 years ago that would happen in the society that we live in on top of wrestling itself? No, that just wasn't it was a pipe dream. And I think in the women's evolution, I know that's just a catchy phrase, but it is. It's an evolution. It's an evolution of women in this business, in this sport, in this industry, in the world. WWE are on the curveball for women in this world. And you look at things like the Time's Up movement and the Women's Olympic US soccer team and Serena Williams, Ronda Rousey. You look at all these women that have made steps for other women on the planet. And when you look at wrestling, on this day of all days, Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, having this Raw Women's Championship match in Abu Dhabi, they changed perception. You look at evolution and the historic just feeling and energy for people in this world. I had the opportunity to have a social media conversation through my DMs on Twitter from a mother and her daughter who watched Evolution, who they actually listened to this podcast. And it was a couple of days ago. They listened to my take on Evolution and how they listened to it together because I'm not going to get into too much detail because it is a private conversation, but they listened to it together and they were very appreciative and very grateful that not only I am very heavy on promoting and talking and discussing women's wrestling and women's rights, and they were very, very understanding and appreciative and grateful of the fact that I am a young male promoting women's rights. Her mother used the words, I don't praise myself at all for this. I am just, very proud to be a very big voice on my platform for the very few people that watch my videos and listen to my YouTube, listen to my podcast, I've always been very proud of the fact that I'm a big voice for women in the world and in this sport. But the mother actually used the words, and this is just very simple, and I don't know why it affected me so much, but she used the words, thank you. She said, thank you. And then she put, this is hope. And that to me is, it doesn't matter of the number of people that listen to this podcast or the number of people that watch my YouTube videos. It matters that those two ladies did, that mother and that daughter. Because I want to be a person that has a voice, and that that is a voice for this generation in 2018, that is more than just a laugh, that is more than just rehashing a wrestling show. If I have any, you often wonder in times like these when you're reflecting and just looking at your life in general, you wonder of anyone will wonder what their kind of goal in life is or their mission in life is. And as you can call me as stupid or crazy or anything you want to call me, you can say I'm silly for saying this, but if this is what I'm meant to do with my life, with my time, with my spare time, really, it's all fun and games, and it's all for, the enjoyment of wrestling. But if nothing else was to happen for me with this, I have that simple paragraph, that simple conversation from a mother and a daughter who said, thank you for being a male role model, a young male role model for a 12-year-old girl who wants to do anything with her life. And like I said, I'm not going to go into detail of that whole message. I'm not going to reveal who it was. But this is what I believe is the women's evolution. It's bigger than all of us. It's bigger than, it's bigger than wrestling. It's real life. I know I'm going off track a little bit here, but this is hope. I don't want to ever, portray that I am, the biggest person ever to ever state these things and I am the reason why this is all happening. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I'm definitely on this train. I have been from the start. I will always be, and it's for moments like this for me. This is my moment. This is my hope moment. That I don't for women, for men, for girls, for boys. It does show that wrestling is powerful. The people in wrestling are powerful, and the community that we are powerful, and our words mean something. And this is hope for me. This is hope for that mother and daughter. This is hope for boys and girls, men and women. This is hope. And this year has taught me that whatever you put your mind to, whatever it is, you can have it, and it's yours. It requires hard work, it requires time, and it requires support, but this is hope. And I don't want to do too many of episodes like these because I like to be fun, I like to be normal Josh, but I needed to share this with all of you, and I'm sorry to get so emotional and different, but this is what it's all about. And I appreciate every single one of you more than any words can describe. And this is what this is what it's all about. Moments like Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss wrestling in Abu Dhabi, in a country where women aren't treated like the same as we are in a different society, in a different culture. I had my opinion on Crown Jewel and Saudi Arabia, but I believe in this 10-year deal that WWE have with Saudi Arabia, we will see a female wrestling match in Saudi Arabia. It might not be the next Saudi event, it might not be the one after, but in this 10-year deal, we will see a women's match in Saudi Arabia, and that is hope. I will see you guys next week for the Wrestling Reverb Awards, and I love you all very much, and thank you for everything. Please join me next week so we can get back to normal. But this is hope.